My name is Maggie Mailerock, and I've been in social work for about 13 years and presently doing 5 years with Maison Interlude. So my work with women in domestic violence really started off young. I myself was a child in a shelter for a couple of months, so a lot of personal things happened. And also it kind of just fell on my lap in terms of placement when I was doing social work, because we do it general. And the ones that really affected me was working in the shelters and helping these women, because I strongly believe women and helping women is successful. And also that it's a societal problem, so we really need to work on it all together. So it's my life mission, I guess. So what I think it takes to be a good outreach worker for women is really the ability to listen without judgment, just being there. It really sounds very simple, but the simplest things are the hardest things to accomplish, I've noticed. So it takes a lot of passion. You have to be passionate about this. And the rewarding effort is just if one woman is able to, go into the proper journey of her life and she's making it on her own now. You were just there for a little bit, and that's enough for me. And Maison Interlude really gives me that opportunity to just be a part of people's lives that I probably won't meet on a regular basis, and that makes it a very good opportunity.
My name is Louisanne. I've been working for 17 years in the social field, and I've been working for 10 years at Maison Interlude House. All my life I wanted to advocate for women's rights, and at Maison Interlude House I can do that pretty much every day. To be a good social worker, you need to be empathetic, you need to have non-judgment, you have to be a good listener, for sure. You also have to establish a good connection with the client as soon as you meet her. You have to be that kind of a worker that's a bit creative, because even though they go through all the same situation, you need to do intervention plans that are adapted to them as an individual.
So what my days kind of look like, it's very different, and that's why I really like it, is because I can gauge my own schedule. And that is a luxury I find that we don't really have in certain employments. So that's what makes Maison Interlude very special in that regard, is that we really have the flexibility of scheduling with our clients as well, because again, they are mothers, they work, they have appointments, so we technically match up with our clientele very well in terms of scheduling. Day to day would be a variety of different ranges in terms of going to family court, going to criminal court, and when I say going to, it's to support my clientele. To be with them in case that they interpret something differently than I do. So then at least I find two heads are better than one, so we can really understand what's happening, to feel that they feel supported in their journey. It's a very high emotional conflict when you're dealing with court. Also, we do have our counseling sessions, and they are usually about an hour. So my day can look like I can have 2 or 3 sessions of counseling with my clients. Also, we do different locations, like going to ODSP or any of the food banks, anything that the clients would need that are in our services that we provide. I'm basically there with them. So there is a couple of driving around locations that we do move. So yes, it definitely would need a good, reliable vehicle in this job. But then that's also the downtime, I like to call it. It really gives you enough time to gather your thoughts and to really go, okay, so my client did this, and now, okay, we're gonna move and do this. Also for me, when it comes to being with clients in the same vehicle, it's a very informal way of getting to know the clients as well. And that's what I think really makes a connection with your workers and your clients. So just to get a little bit more into details about what does counseling mean to Maison Interlude, for us, the counseling themes are pretty much knowing the cycle of violence, and also the types of violence that may occur, how they happened, what are green flags, what are yellow flags, but what are the red flags? Those are the ones that we really want to work on. We also do self-esteem, and learning our self-worth, because those are one of the tactics abusers really enforce, because they don't want women to feel empowered, because we're actually very powerful in our own lives when we do have all of these wonderful qualities that are healthy and nourished. So those are their power and control, is to really take those type of things away from us. So part of the counseling is that type of build towards that, and also just talking in a safe environment is really helpful.
Well, every day I work with women to advocate their rights, while being there for them, while doing an action plan with them, being sure that if ever they want to separate from their spouse, that she feels safe doing so. So everything that has to do with her rights, of her wanting to go forward with, I'm there for her. Well, what my day would look like would probably be, it's so different. One day I can go to court, and one day I can go to the lawyer with my client. I also can have a day that all my clients are booked into some counseling. But a typical day for me would be maybe on a Tuesday morning I would drive to Rockland, and then I would see about 5 to 6 clients every day. In the morning, I can have 2 clients that I have in for some counseling, and then the afternoon I can go and visit an apartment with one of my clients. And I can finish at 3 and go to Service Canada to help out a client with her baby bonus.
So in terms of safety plan, we technically work on those type of plans in the beginning of the relationship, in the mid relationships, and even towards like the post separation, because there's always a chance of something. And having a safety plan in place, it really just takes a couple of minutes to really talk about it, and then knowing that you're implemented. So if something does happen, you know what to do, or close to, because sometimes we do panic, but that's okay. As long, having that reassurance that there is a plan in place is something that we do offer here at Maison Interlude. So working with our clients, what that kind of looks like is, making sure that copies or the original copies of your official government paperwork, so that includes birth certificates, even having a credit card that he has no idea about, or the partner has no idea about, items that are priceless and can't be replaced. Like, I know this sounds really bizarre, but just your family album. That is tactics that they can withhold. You can't replace those family albums anymore. So it's just trying to slowly take things out of the home. That's in the beginning of separation. Also, we do safety plans in terms of like, how are you going to go to your work? Are you making sure that somebody knows where your schedule, in terms of like, hey, I'm going to the grocery store and I'll be back, just for them to know it's a safety plan in place.
Going through a separation of domestic violence can be very overwhelming. There's a lot of paperwork to fill out, and often these clients, I accompany them to go to Service Canada. That can be referred to their baby bonus. We can also go to the legal clinic. Some clients, sometimes they have issues with their apartments, and documents they need to fill out. So I go there with them. I I help them demystify what's written on those documents, because like I said earlier, you're overwhelmed when you go through this type of a situation. So it's very hard for you to comprehend all of these languages. We also go to the food bank if they need some food for them and their family. I help them in that process. And what I like about Maison Interlude is I manage my own schedule. and it's the trust they have in me. I can just leave in the morning and I guide my clients all through the day, and I use all the creativity I can have and all the expertise I have, and they just trust me at 100%.
So the other benefit of working at Maison Interlude House is what I really like to think of is the community work that we do provide in terms of prevention, and also to seat in different committees in different areas to kind of help out the actual societal problem, and then helping our vulnerable clients and ourselves, because at the end of the day we need a healthy community is a thriving community. So what one of my day-to-day things would be is to go to these meetings, have an active voice in it, showing our presence, and being a very good and wonderful representative of our agency organization, Maison Interlude. I feel supported as a woman, as a mother, as whatever titles I have in society. My work environment nourishes it. And that's why I love to be here, because I am appreciated here. I am a part of a bigger picture, and I get to meet all different women from walks of life, ages ranges in the early 20s in their beginning of their career to ones that have serviced us for 30 plus years and are slowly retiring, but always come back because we're that great, So yeah, that's what I really enjoy about working here, is that I'm being very supported.
One thing that strikes me with my colleagues, it's the fellowship. I know if I need something from one of my partners, my colleagues, they'll be there for me. It can be anything from intervention, or if ever I have a client and I'm double booked that day and I cannot go with a client to the lawyers or court that day, one of my colleagues will be there for me. And if her schedule is free, she'll say, Louisanne, I'll be happy to go.
So one of the things that I find that we really have to keep going is that we still have quite a long ways to go in terms of supporting and making sure that our society is healthy with violence against women. The thing that will keep this going is that we have generations that are keeping the fight. So it's really important to have as many as us in this field as possible. And Maison Interlude is one of the organizations that will continue on this fight.